Hello, Peru!
We're in Peru. Hey, hey, hey. So cool because my other half, not this one, but the other half of me is from Peru. My dad is originally from Peru, and we are going to show you his hometown in this bit, the coastal town of Pimentel, which is right next to the fourth largest city of Peru, Chiclayo.
Well, as you know, we came from Guayaquil, Ecuador, which was 15 hours away by bus.
15-hour bus ride away.
Along the way, we slept basically the entire trip.
Yep.
And we woke up and it was extremely rainy, like crazy amount of rain. Everything was flooded. Luckily, when we arrived to Chiclayo, it was completely clear. Clear to the point where it was like so much dust.
We pull in to Chiclayo and immediately chaos. So much traffic, so much dust in the air. And we realize we're not in Ecuador anymore. I love our Airbnb. So cute.
As you know, this bus was like super long, so we needed to rest the first day because we arrived really early. And that's pretty much all we did. Day 2, we worked. Shout out Data ABC.
Not only shout out to Data ABC, but as we always say, shout out to Airbnb. Since we both teach, it's really important to have a nice, comfortable space, and we had an awesome apartment, and we were able to work.
We actually take pictures of every office that we've had and all the places we've gone, so Andrea's in charge of that.
So we did a little bit of working and also did a little bit more resting, honestly, on the second day.
It was necessary. At last, we had to leave the house because we were very hungry.
And so we walked a little bit around. Like we said, this is the fourth largest city of Peru. But for being the fourth largest city, it's really not that big. We were able to walk most of it.
Yeah.
We saw the metropolitanness of it.
You definitely notice how many people are there because the streets are full of people.
Oh yeah, definitely. There was something really typical there that's like this taxi kind of motorcycle thing. A lot of those.
So the restaurant we chose was an actual cerveceria, which is basically like a craft beer spot. So we were pretty excited to find something like that because we definitely needed a good beer. And crazy enough, we found this coca beer, which was basically infused with cocaine leaves.
Coca
leaves, excuse me.
Yeah, don't get it. From the city for a day, and we go to visit my aunt's sister-in-law who lives in Pimentel. So we go to Pimentel, and she kind of just takes us around. It's a very small town, Pimentel, and we walk around on the boardwalk, on the beach.
So native to this part of Peru is a culture. I believe it was the Mote culture, and basically they used to use these boats, and it's this really strange long-looking boat, like a shoe almost.
They call them caballitos, little horses. Something of caballitos. I forget the full name now. But these were all over the beach. It was fascinating, and
Totally.
They used them to go fishing. Really cool. Later that evening, we go to a restaurant called La Proa. This is where we'll call her my aunt. My aunt decides to take us there. Her name is Maria Alejandra. Hey. She takes us to this wonderful restaurant. Bye.
Chao, besitos.
Aquí tenemos. Here we have.
Chao.
What do we got, baby?
Some official Peruvian ceviche that
Yep.
we still not tried, so this is a big moment.
Yep. Ceviche mixto has it all.
And I was not let down. We also had something very typical, especially when you are by the beach.
Mariscos, palta, which is with avocado. Mariscos is simply seafood. We finished out our afternoon with Maria Alejandra. We had a very nice time. And we headed back to Chiclayo. Sad to leave Pimentel.
We knew we had to come back. We had to stay at least another day. Day 3 involved an absolutely insane market.
Bienvenidos al Mercado Modelo. Mercado Modelo, you had so many types of animals.
Birds,
So many animals.
ducks, cocks.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Cocks. Like all kinds of stuff. Guinea pigs, of course. That's kind of like a more indigenous of the mountains meal here in Peru. Yeah, so we walked around through this place. We even bought a couple new books, and so that we can practice our Spanish. There was an extensive selection of Paulo Coelho books, and if you know me, I'm very cliche. Love Paulo Coelho. Very cool market. I do recommend going there if you go to Chiclayo because Chiclayo is small. There's not really much, but the market is very interesting.
Andrea's family member offered to give us a place to stay, and we were able to go back to Pimentel, which meant we can go see where Andrea's father was from, see his house, you know, see the parts that he used to roam as a kid.
Yeah, I almost cried.
You did cry.
I did cry, actually. I definitely cried.
cried.
We are standing outside my father's home, and like Tony said, I'm just imagining my dad just running around with his brothers and just, I'm gonna cry right now if I keep talking about it too much. It's a very emotional moment. I tried peeking in through the cracks because the building was abandoned. There's this business right across the street, and this man goes, "What are you looking for?" And I was like, "We're looking for the building 220. It's where my father grew up as a child." He's like, "What's your father's last name?" Or what's his name? And I was like, "Sergio Rocha." He's like, "Yeah, that's it." And I was like, in that moment, I just like turned and looked, and I was just like, oh my God, amazing, this small town in northern Peru. And then this guy is there on the street, starts talking to me, he's like, "Oh yeah, I know your dad, I know your aunt, I know your uncle," and he just tells me all this stuff, and it's just this weird, special, I don't have a word, it's definitely an experience that I won't forget, and I will hold very dearly to my heart. Beach day! We love the beach.
It was so nice.
I've never
Pimentel is perfectly divided. On one side you have the surfers and the nature. What divides the two is the muelle, or the pier basically.
super long pier.
Yeah, and on the other side, to the left, you have all the tourist destinations, like the restaurants and lots of artwork and things like this. So when the water goes out with the tide, you can basically walk on the rocks and the nature side.
My dad as a child used to play on these beaches. The tide is super out right now, and they say it's effects from El Nino. And we're able to explore all these beautiful ecosystems. There's little fish jumping out, and it's all green. It's pretty cool. And he's in his habitat.
basically wandered around out there for quite some time.
Yeah. Once you pass all of these kind of like rocky areas, you end up where all these dunes. Oops, sorry. You end up with all these dunes.
The dunes were actually where we went that night with Maria Alejandra to end the night. And there was hundreds, maybe 100 people out there playing volleyball, relaxing, having some drinks. And we felt like we were part of the crowd. It was a good way to end the night. I definitely like how they were doing it out in Pimentel. That next morning, we needed somewhere to eat.
We wanted to have some breakfast and have some coffee and possibly do some work.
Yes.
We had some work to do.
Blog work.
Like edit this thing right here.
But on the way, we happened to stumble upon this
I don't know if I call it a food truck.
drug truck. This man had candy, tea, drinks, flour to cook with. It was pretty extensive.
So instead of drinking coffee that morning, we decided why not buy a few products. The reality of it is it's not a drug when you consume it in this way. So we got a little candies and they're supposed to energize you. That's simply what it is.
That's all.
I mean, it's like caffeine. If you want to call coca leaves a drug, then you gotta call caffeine
Honestly,
a drug.
I felt it was cleaner than caffeine.
Oh yeah, because caffeine makes me kind of like irritable and
Jittery.
anxious. Yeah, jittery is a good word. So yeah, so we finished talking to this awesome man.
So he recommended, instead of coffee, he says, take your candy, enjoy it, go to the market, get yourself a juice. And he said, the market? We got a delicious fresh juice,
Jerseys.
which had every fruit that was on sale inside of it.
Yeah, it was delicious. Getting some juice at the market. It's got all the fruits in it. I don't even know what all fruits is in it. This is what's awesome. I really appreciated this. So you know when someone makes you a smoothie and there's stuff left in the blender, you know it's gonna go to waste or it's gonna get hot or it's gonna get gross. And she just topped up our glasses. Awesome. Awesome. I like that kind of stuff. Thank you, smoothie lady. After having our smoothies at the market, we decide we need a little bit more substance. We're still hungry.
We went to the Malecon. At the Malecon, we basically found ourselves a nice restaurant to eat. And this is where we got another one of our favorite dishes, which is leche de tigre. So now it's gonna play that video. Leche de tigre, the milk of a tiger. And then we had some yummy fresh fish, and we take the juice from the leche de tigre and pour it on the fish after. Oh! We kept telling ourselves that we wanted to walk on the muelle, or the pier.
Oh yes.
The
She kissed the sky.